Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make this awesomely cool cat toy. So we're going to need some things though. We're going to need to actually take a trip to the store unless you happen to be one of those people that makes jewelry, because we need to get some stuff that's going to be safe for our kitty. Now, we're going to have some duct tape. That's going to be important. We're going to need tiger tail. This is an item that you can get at the jewelry store. It's called tiger tail. And this is it's a nylon coated stainless steel. So kitty cats will be all safe with that. You're going to need some crimping beads. These are also in the jewelry area. You're going to need a key ring. And you might need to take a trip to the hardware store for this. This is a tiny little eye bolt. The smaller, the better. I also have a little tool. This is an awl that I can make my hole with, a starter hole. But if you don't have a tool like this, you can always use a nail or you can use the tip of your eye bolt. It just takes a little bit more time. You're definitely going to need a pair of needle nose pliers. You're going to want some scissors and an X-Acto knife if you've got it. Just be careful when you use it. You'll need your cutting surface. And for this project, we're going to use a dowel. Now, you can get any dowel that you want, but this kind of dowel is actually a plant stake dowel. And it's just a thin piece of wood that you would use if you were going to stake up some tomatoes or something like that. So this could come from your garage or from your garden supply stuff. And I've got two types of feathers here. I have little fluffy feathers, and then I have some quills. And the quills are kind of important because they're going to give us the base of our toy. I also have some tape that I've already cut into little strips. These are little tiny strips of tape. Those are going to be important. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our dowel and we're going to decorate it up. So you're going to make this absolutely beautiful and wonderful and looking amazing. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to give you this that my sister Embellishment Frida made. You know, she is Frida Embellishment Maletsky, and she made this, and you can see she's used all different kinds of duct tape and different tapes to make it really beautiful. And what we're going to do is, after we've embellished, we're going to make a little tiny starter hole right in the end. And you just need to give it a tiny little press. You could probably get away with, depending on the kind of dowel you're using, you probably get away with maybe using a push pin or a thumbtack kind of a thing. Push pin would be better because it has an actual head. And then you just want to start very slowly and patiently turning your little screw into place. Now you're going into the end of this dowel and you've got a pretty significant bit of screw to get in there. You're probably going to get to a certain point where you're going to need to hold it with the needle nose pliers and turn it. Once it feels nice and solid, you can probably stop. But I'm going to give it a little bit more. There you go. The one thing you want to be careful of is you want to try not to split the end. However, we do have our fabulous handy dandy duct tape, and you will have also reinforced it by decorating it all with duct tape. But I'm going to put a piece of tape here just in case along the end. And I just took that little piece and I just wrapped it around, and that's going to make sure that that end stays nice and tight and secure. But try not to split your dowel. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our tiger tail. And on my tiger tail, I mean, it depends how tall you are. Because, you know, if you're really, really tall, you might want a pretty long string so that you can really get your cat jumping. But I would suggest about 3 feet is about the right length. And tiger tail you can easily cut with a pair of scissors. I'm now going to take my tiger tail, I'm going to feed it up and through my eye bolt there. And then I'm going to fold it over on itself. Now, this is where I'm going to need my little crimping bead, because my crimping bead is what's going to go on here and keep it from coming apart. Because tiger tail is unlike something like monofilament, you know, fishing line. You really can't tie tiger tail. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my little crimping bead And I'm first going to thread through the tiger tail. And I am one of those people that always feels like you should do more rather than less. So I'm actually going to put 2 crimping beads on here. Slide it through that hole. And then I'm going to slide the tiger tail and the crimping beads through. There we go. Shot away. Put that on. And now what I want to do, is slide this end of the tiger tail through those crimping beads so that it forms like a little noose. See that? Like that? It's like a little noose. So actually, I guess I didn't have to feed those through that. I'll show you again at the bottom. Okay, I want to get my big fingers out of the way here. So I'm just going to take my needle nose pliers here, and I'm just going to squeeze it down. And see how that flattened it down? That is going to lock the tiger tail together. And I'm going to do the same thing here. And I've slid it down so it's close to the edge. And squeeze. There we go. Now, just to make sure that nothing happens here, I'm going to use a little bit of tape. And although I have these little strips, I want to cover this whole thing. So I'm actually going to use a half decent sized piece here. So this is 2 inches. And I'm just going to wrap this around up here to make sure that nothing slips for my kitty. I want to make sure my kitty's nice and safe. And I'm just going to wrap that around. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to make the fluffy part of the cat toy, and then we'll attach it. So what I'm going to use are 3 or 4 of these duck quills. It's up to you how many you want to put. 3 seems like a nice number. And you want to do it so that you place it so that the little quills are together and the feathers are kind of flanging out, if you can. And I've got a little strip here of tape that's 1 inch wide, and I've got my little strips. I'm going to first start with my little strip. I'm just going to wrap it around to kind of secure these guys together, and then I can adjust them a little bit if I need to. There we go, to make sure I got that kind of flangey thing happening. I'll take 1 more little piece of tape. Wrap it around the bottom. And take 1 more piece here. This is my bigger piece. I'm just going to wrap the whole thing together so it's nice and tight. Okay. Now, I like to kind of give it a little bit more texture and a little bit more frondy fluffiness. So what I'm going to do is actually take some of these fluffies. And the fluffies, I'm going to take a little piece of tape, and I'm going to lay the fluffies on my tape, like this. Go, little fluffy. Go, little fluffy. Okay, so I've got my 3 little fluffies there. And then I'm just going to lay that tape line right along the edge there. And it looks like I could use 1 more fluffy right there. And I can lock it in. There. Kind of looks like, if you're a fisherman, it looks like you're making like an oversized fly. Okay. Now you can neaten it up by using some pretty duct tape. And the other thing that we want to do is we want to make a little loop at the top here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1 inch piece of tape, and I'm going to do a fold over strip, but this is going to be a skinny, tiny fold over strip. And I'm going to take a little piece of this tape and fold this. Now I'm going to add this little key ring at this point in time. So I folded that up and over. So one more time. Here's your strip. Put your key ring on and fold that strip up and over. Pull your key ring to the apex there, and you should be able to see that there's some space in between there. And then what I want to do is take this little piece of tape and wrap it around so that I've got it secured. So see, there I have my cat toy part. Now I do want to make this a little prettier. So I'm going to take a little bit of tape here, cut the edge so it's nice and smooth. Now remember, you can do whatever you want. I mean, you can make this to match your stick, however you've embellished your stick. Okay. And just wrap it around so it's nice and neat for your kitty. There we go. All right, now we are ready to attach to our tiger tail. So I've got my stick with my tiger tail attached, and once again I'm going to take the tiger tail and I'm going to put it through the key ring. And now what I need to do is I need to have my little crimpers on here. So I'm going to take my crimpers, and my crimpers need to be on this side. So I'm going to slide them on. 1, 2. Go through the key, chain, ring, and see the crimpers are what's holding this in place when you make a loop. So you want to take this edge and you want to push it up through those little crimping beads. And sometimes it's hard to find the hole there because they're very tiny. Okay, and now I'm just going to crimp those with my fabulous needle nose pliers. And there you go. Now this one didn't crimp as well, so let me slide it down and crimp it again. This one crimped beautifully. The other one did not. There we go. Slide it in. I think I missed it when I used my tool because I tried to do both of them at the same time. Doing one at a time is a better way to go. There we go. Crimped it. Okay, once again, there's a tiny little bit of tiger tail here, which could be a little sharp, and I don't want my kitty cat to have any sharp edges, so I'm just going to use a little bit of this blue tape this time. This little blue strip. Don't need this much. Just a little blue strip. I'm just going to seal off this edge here by wrapping the tape to itself. And I'm going to wrap it down and around those crimping beads, and down and around. Take that rest of that tape, down and around those crimping beads, and back up again. And there you have it. Now you're ready to exercise your cat. Make him go a little crazy. You can have a little cat scratch fever going on. And now, just to show you how much fun that cat toy can be, my sister Frida and her crazy cat, BB. For more fun things to do for your pets, come and check us out at sophie-world.com.